All right, welcome to another Three Kings client testimonial. We've got the awesome B. Ambroso here. Hey B, how are you?
Good, thanks.
I'm going to act like we weren't just on a 45-minute session before this, like I've just met you, but that's fine. So to give a quick intro, so B is, we'll call her a family friend. She's pretty much family. So she's the sister of my long-term best mate. And B and I have been chatting for some time back and forth. And B was a classic example of someone that, wasn't ready to get advice a couple of years ago and throughout gave us some tips and budgets and stuff, and she stuck to it. And this year she finally come on and become a client. So congratulations, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
But the reason we got B on today, so to be completely transparent, B hasn't finished her upfront 3 months yet. So we haven't even finished the foundations. We're only 2 months in. But like I said to you guys who are watching this, that I wanted to give some different perspectives of the process and how valuable 1 week before you become a client, a month in and that. And so B is going to give us a bit of an insight today into, she hasn't even finished the foundations, how much value she's got out of it and that kind of stuff. So thanks for coming on, B. I'm going to go through 10 questions with you today. Do you have anything you want to add before we start?
Nah.
Perfect. Good chat, bro. All right. So first question, when and how did you discover myself and my business?
A few years ago, I discovered you through my brother. So yeah, through mutual connections, I guess.
It was hard not to discover me via him. We were hanging off each other, weren't we? It was like 2 in 1. I remember the first time B jumped in the car with me and Dave, and that was pretty funny.
That was a fun time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she pissed herself. I'm pretty sure a little bit of wee came out. That was that fun.
100%.
All right. So tell us about the problems you were having that made you come see us this time. So after we met a couple of years ago and you did the budget and that kind of stuff, what were the problems that you were facing that really sort of, I know I reached out and was like, B, it's time to go, let's do this. But what were the problems you were facing before we started?
So I just secured a full-time position and a couple months before, and I was having trouble, I guess, with my cash flow. I was spending a lot of money. Yeah. And I didn't want to spend all of my money anymore. So I was like, okay, I need help. I'll contact Ryan again.
Yeah, and I think that's really important because, so we caught up again while B was on her before she got the pay rise, right? So before you got the full-time role, and realistically, the money you were on, then, it's hard to do. We said it was hard to do anything more than just live on, right? Like it was, and that's what you do when you're a trainee, when you're in uni, whenever you're training for your career. That everyone goes through that stuff. But we talked about the positives, and that if you can learn how to live on this, when you earn more, it's just all going to be profit, right? The problem was when B got the full-time job and started earning substantially more, it wasn't all profit. She took the same habits that she had, bad habits, and amplified them. And that's when I sort of went through B's budget again, and I just went, no, Scuddy. And I said, it's about time we do something because you are costing yourself a lot of money. And she agreed. And she came on board. So tell us a bit about how was that problem impacting your life mentally? Like how was it actually impacting you?
So before I'd gotten the full-time job and the pay rise or whatever, I was budgeting quite well, paying what I needed to pay. I was always good at that, paying my bills. I'm fine with that.
I hope so. But you've been kicked out on the street.
It's the excess that's the problem. There's stuff that I can actually spend. So once my bills were done, I just spend everything. And then I had some health issues that came up, and I couldn't pay for certain things when I needed to. And I was like, oh, what the hell am I going to do? And mentally, I was like, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm working really hard. I've worked really hard for the past few years now. I'm not getting anywhere, and it was really frustrating me. I'm getting older. All those things start coming through your brain, and you're like, what am I doing here? And my career isn't in the city. It's quite remote. So I'm like, why the hell am I in the middle of the desert earning this amount of money and saving nothing, doing nothing for my future, enjoy nothing for myself with it.
I think that's a really key point too, B, because I don't know if you remember the meeting, but like I caught up with B and I saw a budget, and like we're talking a substantial income increase here, right? And B was in a worse mental space than when she was a trainee. Like she was less happy, and I could see it straight away. I don't remember the meeting, B, but I was like, this ain't on. Like you were stressed out. She was even considering like questioning what she was doing. Like that's how unhappy she was. She was just like, I don't know, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. And it was almost, I wouldn't say purely, but it was heavily related to the financial outcomes, because she'd done all this hard work to get to where she was, and she got there and wasn't progressing, was in the same spot. And that's pretty much the trigger where I went, right, you don't have a say in this. You're becoming a client, because this, I said that literally, you can, like, B's here, you can ask, this is literally what I said to her. I said, yeah, this is unacceptable. Your mindset right now and your happiness level on this difference, it's not acceptable, because the whole time we chatted while you're a trainee, you're like, I just got to get through this. I got to get there. And when I get there, I'm going to be good. And it didn't happen. And I think it's a really good lesson for you then to make early that, you know, more money doesn't mean more happiness if you're not doing the right things.
Absolutely.
No,
100%. Like, I know people that have the same income as me, if not more, and they've not managed their money correctly or in a way that serves them, and now they're stuck, or they've divorced and now they've got all this debt and no savings and no anything.
You know what they should do?
Sorry, I think someone's there.
Hello. Welcome to Three Kings Client Testimonial. Do you want to do one? Hello. We'll leave this in because this is funny.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
You know those people that are on the same money with bad habits, you know you can always refer them in, right?
1 second.
All right, so nice little interruption there. We've got another visitor in the background, but so we talked about that, right? So that was the big thing, B, was that just you know, the money didn't change anything, and it should have, and that's sort of what we had to fix. What, I guess you're a bit different. And the next question is what drew you to us, but there's obvious connections there, but still, you know, I've got clients and family that still don't use me or don't, you know, they're hesitant to reach out. What drew you to just pull the trigger and go ahead with it with us?
Well, that's the thing. It's obviously not about my brother and your relationship with him. I think what drew me to contact you again and again was because when I first sat with you that first time, you were no BS, you were straight to the point. You were like, yeah, look, this is where you're at, this is where we're at. Let's just get this sorted first rather than jump into something else with no benefit to yourself. Like, honestly, you might have seen future benefit possibly, but you were like, there's nothing I'm going to gain from this, but this is what you need to do to get where you want to go, and talk to me later. I think
that's key, B, because like I love what I do, right? And people think it's just a sales thing, but that, like, we want everyone to book in and chat, because even if you're not ready, and this is key, because some people, I always say to people, we will not take on clients that we can't add value to above and beyond our fees straight away. And people think that's just a sales pitch to get them in. But You're a great example. Like, we're talking 3 years difference from the first time you booked into the time that we received $1 from you, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we were there the whole way along because we wanted to see you succeed. That's what I love doing. And that's key for people to understand, is that we're serious about that shit.
That's it. And I mean, you're just down to earth. You'll have a bit of a joke. You're not really like, yep, this is all business and this is done. Yep, see you later. You're like, okay, well, let me know if there's anything else, or, you know, you'll have a bit of a joke about something or whatever. It's more personal.
Let's be honest. Yeah. I'm just a straight.
All a joke. Don't tell anyone.
All right, cool. What about your perception of us versus your experience? So we've only recently put this question in because, you know, some people, like, we love, you know, wear caps and the t-shirt, and sometimes we wear worse shit, like whatever, we don't care, and how we carry ourselves, you know, we're a bit of larrikins and we are no bullshit, straight out. How is your perception of us versus your actual experience on the professional side?
So to be honest, I hadn't really experienced any other financial advisors before. So my perception of you was you're down to earth, you're easygoing, you have a bit of a laugh, and you're easy to talk to and easy to understand. My perception of you was you're very down to business, and because you know bullshit, it's a bit intimidating. You're like, okay, this guy's going to tell me like it is. Prepare for that, because you know the truth. You're going to hear it coming back at you. And I mean, the level of professionalism is there as well. I think that's why it was hard to navigate at the start, because I was like, hey, he's just chilling out, but he's not just chilling out, man. He's telling you like it is.
I think that's good. No one said that before, and I like that, because that's true. Like, we are no bullshit, and especially we get a lot of people come through from Instagram, and it can be intimidating because I am very like, I'll tell you how it is, but there's still that like, you got to remember, I wore a suit for 5 years. You know what I mean? I worked in a corporate office for 5 years. I still know how to deal with people on that front, and we still have that professional act. We just tone it down a little bit and have a bit of that balance, right?
Yes, definitely.
But,
and that's why I'm investing in this too, because not only
we can invest if we don't know what we're doing, just look like a bunch of clowns, right?
Yeah, exactly. Look at that background.
I think that's what we're trying to change, is that, you know, everyone always says your first, like, that's why people used to wear suits all the time and stuff, because you think your first impression is what matters. But we want to change that. Like, you know, we wear the same stuff our clients wear, we look the same, but doesn't mean it doesn't mean we're not the best at what we do. Like, we are, you know, we're top of our game here, and I don't want people to think because you're not wearing a suit, we can't manage money. Like, we're good. We're very good. Well, I think we are, but that's what you're here for, to tell everyone, right?
I think too. I think so too. Yeah.
So, given that you haven't finished the foundations yet, so today we did our strategy meeting, which outlined everything. That's pretty much finished, but we're only 2 months in. What has your experience been like so far?
Unreal. It's been 2 months. That's it. And I've already saved more money than I ever have. And I've ever in my whole life, like ever. And I've traveled the world, and I would travel the world by booking it and then paying it off, not saving for it and then going. There's too much. So I'm already blown away. It's just as simple as having that structure, accountability. Accountability is big for me, and having a goal and knowing what that goal is. Like, it's easy to say I want to buy a house, or I want to go around the world for 3 months or whatever, but unless you really dive into that, which I hadn't done before we did that, you're not connected to it. So what's the point?
And the great example there is, like, you know, let's say saving for a house, which is most people's big one, right? And let's say you're gonna need 60, 80K. That goal's so far away that people, you'll save, chop into it. How we operate, and this is what's benefited B the most, is I'll go, right, B, our next meeting's here. I want that account to be at this by that meeting. And it might be a month away, it might be 2 months away, it might be whatever. So she's got accountability, so that when we meet, that account needs to be where we said it was going to be, right?
Yeah.
Rather than just leaving you to your own device and say, hey, good luck. Like, see you in 12 months, you better have money in there. Like, so you kind of covered there, but next question is, how has your situation improved since we started?
Oh.
And I want you to talk less money in this one and more like mindset, that kind of stuff, like peace of mind, all that stuff that we talk about.
I actually, the other day, I was driving home from work and I was just exhausted. And I was like, man, why do I keep doing this? Like, I'm so exhausted. I can't wait to go to bed, blah, blah, blah. What am I going to do for dinner? And then I was like, hey, it's been 2 months and I have this buffer. If I needed, because I have to go to the doctor or whatever, if I needed something, it's okay. Like, I'm covered. I'm not stressed at all about it. I'm not even thinking about it. Like, it just happens now. It's automatic. So I can focus on actual work and actual other goals in life rather than focusing so much on money and what I want to do with it, or when I don't have it and, oh my God, I have to buy this now and my car's just lost 2 tires, but it's okay because I can just buy 2 tires.
We're not saying that losing 2 tires to your car's okay. This is a hold up there. Like, We need to talk about that, B. What the fuck? What are you doing out there?
There's not much to do out here, okay?
So you're just losing tires. That's cool, man. No, that's cool. They didn't wear out. She lost them. Straight lost them. Just woke up one day. I don't know where.
Oh, gone.
I'm getting PTSD from Townsville. All right. So that's good. And can you physically or can you feel your mental space freeing up from that?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's the best part about what we do. Forget the money. That's the shit we want, right? Like that's
the whole point, isn't it? So I'm not freaking out about it or worried about anything. I can just live my life.
Yeah, that's the juice, that stuff. What have you enjoyed the most so far?
The rewards. No,
Just to be clear, we don't have a reward system here. B's talking about her own rewards. We don't give you rewards like a star or a tick or something. We don't have a star chart here.
I have a star chart for myself, and
star chart your account structure every time that hits the button.
No, honestly, the best part about the whole thing is feeling more in control.
Beautiful. Now there's a lot of people out there, B, that, you know, similar to yourself, they always think I need to earn more money, or I need to be doing better, you know, and that was you. You thought you sort of put off coming to us. I had to really pull you in this time, because you thought even though you made more money, I could tell you didn't think like you were doing well enough, right? And it's like that thing we say, you don't wait till you're better to go see a doctor, right? So if there's anyone else out there that is watching this and is in that position, what would you say to those guys?
You'd be crazy not to. If you're in the position where you're on paper in a better spot than you were, but you don't feel like it's the right time, just have a chat, because I didn't think it was the right time at all. And it's the best thing I've ever done for myself. Yeah. So I would recommend just having the chat and seeing where you actually are at, because your perspective can be skewed sometimes, especially if you're not in the right headspace. And
there's nothing to lose from a free chat, right? Worst case scenario is I tell you I'll see you in 3 years like I did B.
Which has paid off, so.
But let's be clear, be clear to people watching this. So when, that wasn't, B didn't come in and I didn't say, yeah, I see you're not ready, scene 3. He's like, we actually put a plan in place. Like I said to B, here's what you need to do. Come and see me at this point, touch base. And when she wasn't touching base, because I knew that she probably was spending much money, I'd reach out and say, B, how you going with it? Like, what's going on? And where she may not have stuck to what we talked about 100%, you know, it was better than 0% because she knew I would be there to check in. And that's the stuff we do. So if you're not sure, just sit down and have a chat. Your best interest is our best interest, and we'll make sure the outcome applies to that, right? And the big one is, if you feel like you should be doing better than what you are with what you have, that's the key goal that you left it too late. Like, come and see us. Like that, you're beyond the point of seeing it. If that's how you feel, come in.
100%.
On a scale, last question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely would you be to refer us to people to come see us?
11.
11. Well, I think you need to work on your mathematics, but that's
impossible. All right, a 10. I have recommended you to a couple of people. So.
Beautiful. I appreciate that. All right, B. Well, thanks so much for jumping on. We'll post this across all socials and YouTube, so you'll see. You won't see any of it. Do you even go on anymore?
Yeah.
I
won't now, though.
Hey, not now. So you'll be famous across our 4 viewers. That'd be good. All 4 people that watch our videos will see your face.
That's Lauren.
All right, thanks, XP. I'll stop this and then we'll be good to go.
All right.